What is up, everybody, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I have something interesting and exciting to share with you. So, obviously, we have the Vulp, as per usual. This is just the classic. And the Vulp has, existed for a long time now, but recently we've come up with a bit of an idea that I think you guys will find interesting. And so I want to hear thoughts about this, and I want to hear ideas in the comments section about this, because we're genuinely looking for feedback on this and some ideas as to what we might do. All right, so you've got your regular Vulp, right? Look at this. Boom. This is a Teflon-coated Vulp. So, Teflon coating has been used for knives before, but not like this, not where you fully coat every surface in Teflon. So, this is similar to the coatings that you'll find on pans, though, obviously there are Teflon-coated pans. However, this is different. It's not just like a non-stick coating on a pan. Instead, it's more similar to like a Teflon-coated knife blade, where you use it to prevent oxidation and rust, except what we're doing with it in this case is actually increasing grip. Teflon is really, really good for that. It actually increases the grip a surprising amount without making it uncomfortable. So what it does is it kind of adds a bit of a grippiness to all of the areas, which, before with this bead blast, while they're not terrible, it's been obvious that the Vulp has had grip problems for some time now. So this remedies those issues while also doing something pretty cool, which is coating the entire balisong in a color. And so this is where a lot of that stuff comes in. I want to know, first of all, what colors would you guys like to see if we do this? And then second of all, what do you think about this idea in the first place? Maybe reverse those two, actually. First of all, what do you think about this idea? And second of all, if you like it, what colors would you like to see? The fun part about this is that we can do like all sorts of colors. So I don't think we're going to create that many colorways, but what's cool about this is that the colors that we can create are endless. Even aluminum anodization, you can get almost any color you want with aluminum anodization, but with the Teflon coating, we can get literally any color you want. And we can get really, really crazy with it too. So some of the stuff that I was thinking of was like a bright neon color. So like we could have a neon orange or like a neon yellow or neon green, where the entire Vulp is like that color. I think that would look really, really cool. And then on top of that, it kind of adds to the flipping experience. So I've actually found that the Teflon-coated Vulp here flips, I don't know if substantially better is the right word, but it is surprisingly better. Like, between the two, I would pick this one up over my original Vulp, though I still do love my original Vulp, but I found myself being able to pull off, like, crazier tricks on the Teflon-coated Vulp due to the better grip just all over it. And interestingly, it actually also improves the chaplain performance. I mean, you can see I can go ham on this thing with the chaplains, and I do have to make slightly wider circles still, but the chaplains are a lot easier on the Teflon-coated Vulp because of that slightly increased friction, I think. There's a little bit more friction happening between the balisong and my finger, and I think that is adding to my ability to do the chaplains on it. But anyways, yeah. So this is a fun idea, and I can actually show you an example of a color. I don't know why this is the test color. So we have a fully white one, and originally I was like, oh, I don't know about the fully white one. Like, it's been done before, and it's cool, but there's nothing like all that special about a fully white one. And that's what I thought until last night. If you guys don't know, my entire house is hooked up with hue lights because I'm a nerd like that. And so at night, I really like to turn on all the hue lights and have all of my lights in my house be fun colors and stuff like that. And last night, I was flipping the white Vulp with all of the lights set to interesting changing colors, and suddenly I realized, oh my god, that's what this thing was made for. This thing looks fantastic in colored lighting. It looks awesome. So like something that you can't see on a video like this, obviously, is that you know, right now when the knife goes across the screen, it's very sharp. You've got these very sharp images of the knife. But in real life, you know, the knife has a nice trail to it. And the white one especially, because it's so bright and white, you get a pretty good trail off of it while you're flipping. It looks very pretty in motion. And when you add colored light to that, suddenly the knife itself becomes whatever color the current lighting is, and it looks awesome. It honestly looks like it's almost glowing. I did talk to Nibali's about this, and I really want to figure it out, but they told me that it's probably not possible, which is putting like UV reactive stuff into the Teflon. I don't think that's necessarily possible. Unfortunately, with the way Teflon works, we can do colors, but man, do I want it to be UV reactive. If I can figure that out, I will, don't worry, but I just don't think it's possible. But I wanted to bring up the idea because I thought it was cool as heck. But yeah, this thing is so much fun to flip with the coating on it. The one thing I will say that I think we need to be very upfront about is this is a coating, and it is a strong-ish coating, but it is still a coating. And so you'll immediately start to notice stuff like this. You can see where that pin impacts the blade, you're going to have a loss of the color on that spot, and then vice versa, you have a similar thing, not as bad, but on the other side of the blade. And then, as soon as you start dropping this thing, you're also going to start having the coating come off everywhere it hits stuff, because the truth is, at the end of the day, coatings come off. They just do. The best kind of coating is probably a DLC, which is a diamond-like coating. It's diamond-like carbon coating, and DLC coatings are like imbued into the metal itself, and so they are. Ooh, wow! Oh my God, that's the closest it's ever got to falling off my balcony. That was beautiful. Did you guys see that? That was crazy. I mean, there's your durability test right there. I should have let it fall. But yeah. In terms of coating, like, this is close-ish to how a PVD coating is. It's maybe slightly below that in terms of its overall durability, but it will come off the same way that a PVD coating comes off when you drop it on, like, concrete or if it hits metal and stuff like that. But it won't come off from, like, your fingernails or your rings or whatever. Like, I have rings on all the time, and it doesn't come off because it's hitting that necessarily. It is strong enough to hold up to daily use. It's just not strong enough to hold up to concrete and like metal and stuff like that. So I will say that is something to note, is that this does decrease what I would consider the durability of the Vulp a fair bit, simply because this is more of a like cool factor thing than it is a practicality thing. Though at the same time, it does increase the flipping performance, so that's kind of funny. I will say, if you're gonna buy any Vulp and you don't have a Vulp already, then yeah, just get a regular Vulp. I would highly suggest that over this, even if this flips slightly better with the better grip. But at the same time, the original Vulp versus this does flip better. And if you have a Vulp already and you want one that's really cool looking and has, you know, better flippability overall and just feels really nice to go ham on, because yeah, I mean, as you can see, I'm tearing up this thing and it feels freaking awesome, and I really, really enjoy it. Wow. Wow. I mean, like, I love it. Also, there's kids down in the pool right now. I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but that has me very excited because our pool has been closed for, I don't know, maybe a year at this point. It's been a really long time, and we haven't been able to use the pool, and they've, like, remodeled it, and it's been that way for, I swear to God, at least 4 months now. Like, totally finished, and they've just had it closed, and we haven't been allowed to use it, so I'm pretty hyped about going down there and taking a swim soon. But anyways, yeah. Sorry to get off topic. Let's look at a color real quick. All right, so came in the very cool Create With You Nibali's box. I really like this concept. Nibali's is always pushing some really interesting ideas. But here is another sample of color. As you can see, we have these nice yellow ones, and this was not super well applied. This is just a proof of concept for the color, I believe, but this is probably not a color we'll end up going with. I feel like a neon yellow might be something we end up going with if you guys like it, but this is more of like a dim, maybe like lilac yellow. I don't know, is lilac the right word for that? But yeah, it's fine, but it's not exactly the color that I like necessarily wanted. So this white I am a big fan of, but this right here I'm not totally sure about. So yeah, I'd really like to hear your opinions in the comments. Let me know what you actually think we could do color-wise for a Teflon-coated Vulp. You know, what colors would you guys like to see? And think out of the box, because we can go kind of crazy with it, you know? I really want to do some colors that have just never happened before. And we could do colorways, too. Like, we can have the blades and the handles be a different color and stuff like that. So colorways are possible. However, another factor of this that I was thinking of is because we can do all sorts of cool colors, June is coming up, and June is Pride Month. And I have been in talks with Nibali's, and they wanted to help create a Pride version of the Vulp. Well, I can't do it's my scissors. I'm okay with my scissors, but as soon as I stop paying attention, I mess them up. So, June is Pride Month, and Nibali's has been in talks with me about creating a Pride Vulp. And I can't flip at all today. And I am so excited about that, and I really think that this Teflon coating thing is actually really good for creating a Pride Vulp. I think that we can create some really interesting stuff that way. And so, you know, let me know what you think. I'm thinking for the Pride Vulp, I'll probably do I wanted to do one pan flag Vulp, and I was thinking of doing that with, like, literally both handles, so, like, one handle one way, one handle the other way, and then the blade the other, and we make a pride flag out of that, so, like, when it's closed, all three colors make up the pride flag. I think that would be extremely cool. I don't know how many different versions we'll be able to make due to just, like, how crazy that'll get when it comes to number of SKUs and stuff like that. Like, that would be crazy. So I'm trying to decide exactly what pride flags we should have. Part of me was thinking one just like general rainbow flag one pan pride flag, and the pan pride flag, ooh, that hit the metal. Let's see what it did to it. There's a little scuff right there. I think that's the one from that. So that just hit the metal down there, and I heard it, and I think it left this little scuff. So there's your... If I try to wipe it away with something, yeah, that scuff is on there. So there you go. So that's what happens if it hits some metal on the fully white coating. And I've been flipping this for a minute, and you can see it actually still looks pretty good. There's only a few minor things on it like that, even with dropping it a okay bit. I haven't dropped it onto concrete or anything like that, but I have been flipping it a fair bit. So, yeah, I don't know. It's not the most durable thing in the world, but it's also not, like, super undurable either. Anywho, I wanted to do a pan pride, much better. I wanted to do a pan pride Vulp because I'm pansexual. I don't know if I've actually made that clear or not, because it is very easy to say that you are gay and then just kind of move on from there, especially when you're something like pan, because, like, people nowadays understand what bi is, but even people like that don't really get what pan is, and pan is basically just an extension of bisexuality. Pansexuality has more to do, it's more of a mindset, I guess, in some ways. It has to do a lot with, like, how you are attracted to people. For me, pansexuality has a lot to do with, like, the fact that I don't necessarily find, like, people's bodies attractive. Like, I can be attracted to almost anyone with almost any type of body. It's not necessarily their body shape or something physically about them that makes me attracted to them. Instead, it's more of, like, I find myself attracted to specific types of people or specific personalities and stuff like that. And pan is, you know, just as unique as all the other sexualities on the spectrum, and my experience isn't a definition of what pan is, but I do want to represent that somewhat in who I am and being a little more, like, direct about that. And so I think releasing a pan pride Vulp for Pride Month would be really cool, because it would be kind of like a, hey guys, by the way, like, don't forget, I'm not just gay, I'm this specific flavor of gay, and I want to, you know, put that out there. So definitely looking into doing a pan one. I'm also thinking of doing, so unfortunately we can't really do, like, any like, I wanted to do like a rainbow blade, but you just can't really do that with Teflon. We might try to figure something out like that in the future, but for now that's not really possible. So instead we're looking at different colorways and what we might be able to pull off there. But I was also thinking of doing a trans pride Vulp, so the same way. So we'd have one gay pride Vulp, or one pan pride Vulp, one gay pride Vulp, and one trans pride Vulp. And the trans pride one would be the same kind of thing. You know, we'd have all the colors across all three of the parts. And then for the gay pride one, that one I'm not totally sure what we're gonna do exactly yet, but when I say gay pride one too, I wanna be clear that that one will be just the general pride one. That will have the rainbow flag on it, and the idea behind it is to be representational of all the communities that fall under the LGBTQ umbrella, not just gay people. So, anywho, yeah, lots to talk about, lots of cool stuff happening. Gonna be honest, I've been a little bit burnt out from doing this format of video, or maybe just a little bit burnt out in general. It's not necessarily the willhirsch flips, it's just this has been the easiest format of video for me not to have to do. Our videos in general are a lot of fun to make, and I'm really happy about them and proud of them, but we've had so much stuff going on outside of the video stuff that it's sort of left me in a place of where I'm like, I'd really like to just get back to making a few of our core original style videos where we're talking about just some product that we've gotten from a company or one of my own personal balisongs, and I'm reviewing it and explaining it to you, and that's the whole thing. And I'd really like to get back into that, but things have been so busy behind the scenes that we just haven't had the time or the ability to do so, and it's left me feeling a little burnt out. But I really think I'm gonna hopefully be able to get back into the swing of things. I think Blade Show is gonna be really big for me. Like, partially it's gonna be a huge deal and will take a ton of energy, but at the same time, I also think that it will be really good for me in the sense of I'll be able to enjoy seeing the community and have, you know, seeing all of your wonderful faces and having that revitalize me. So I'm very much looking forward to doing that and experiencing Blade Show for what it is. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. I just wanted to ask y'all's opinion about the Teflon coated Vulp. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. I will say, I know one of the things that I initially thought of was like, hey, so Teflon, you know, non-stick coatings have been talked about how they are a health hazard and a health risk due to some of the, and an environmental risk, due to the ingredients used in their creation. And thankfully what I've learned is that the Teflon coating on something like this is totally fine because it is not being heated. The problem with Teflon is when you heat it to a high degree, like you would with some of your cookware, then it becomes problematic. But actually, Teflon on a surface like this is totally innate and fine. So thankfully that, you know, worry of mine was quelmed. But yeah. Anywho, let me know if you have any questions or comments, and please let me know what colors you would like to see, because this is your chance to influence what we're actually going to be doing with the Vulp in the near future. So yeah, this is extremely exciting, and I hope you guys are excited for it as well. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.